All right, so we talked about potential receivers for the Detroit Lions and how I feel that the wide receiver room is a little light. I feel like we need some help. You take away St. Brown, you take away Jamison Williams, you take away Khalif Raymond, because Khalif Raymond's going to be wide receiver number 3. Lions usually roll with 5 to 6. And that 4, 5, and 6 is a battle. Donovan Peoples-Jones, not a lock. None of those guys are a lock. I say the closest one is DeReese Fountain, all right, who is proving his worth, but we still could use some help. And I made a video on my other channel about this, but I want to see what you guys have to say. I feel like with the number of wide receivers that the Houston Texans have and the number of potential starters, that there will be an odd man or two out from the Houston Texans that the Detroit Lions can look at. Now, I want to get your opinion, the chat and on playback. What do you think? Which one of these receivers you think could be cut? And who would you take? Now, remember, of course, usually teams put 2 to 3 wide receivers on their 16-man practice squad. So the Houston Texans, last time I checked, they had 14 wide receivers. 14. Let's say they carry 5 to 6. That leaves 8 to 9, okay, looking for a new team, potentially. Let's say they put 2 to 3 on the practice squad. That leaves, okay, 6 to 7. Who now are looking for a team. All right. Now, I want to know what your opinion is when it comes to the potential odd man out or two. And who would you like to see on the Detroit Lions? The reason I keep bringing this up is because I feel like this is actual potential. All right. So here is these are the receivers for the Houston Texans. We're going to start at the bottom here. Noah Brown. Now, let's go through them. Let's see which ones could start, and then we can go from there. Noah Brown, all right? Quintez Cephas, former Detroit Lion. They couldn't even put the brother in a Texans uniform. Put him in a Texans uniform. Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, Xavier Hutchinson, Jalen Janke, Jimmy Johnson, John Mechie III, Steven Sims, Ben Skoranek, Robert Woods. All right? There you go. It's a lot of guys. Now, which one of these guys could be starters? Let's go through it again. Noah Brown, yes. Quintez Cephas, probably not. Nico Collins, yes, that's 2. Tank Dell, yes, that's 3. Stephon Diggs, yes, that's 4. Xavier, not sure. Jaden, not sure. Jimmy Johnson, not sure. John Mechie, that's 5. Steven Sims, I don't know. Ben Skoranek, that's 6. Robert Woods is 7. Now, like I said earlier, to start this segment, most teams only rock with 5 to 6 on their 53-man roster. We counted 7 potential starters. Ben Skoranek, they traded for Ben Skoranek, former Ram. They're not going to so easily give up on him. Robert Woods, 32. Ben Skoranek, 27. Robert Woods is the oldest wide receiver on this list. The oldest wide receiver on this list. In my opinion, I think that Robert Woods is the odd man out. I think they could cut Ben Skoranek before they cut John Mechie. If I had to make a choice, I'm taking Robert Woods because of his connection to Jared Goff. Jared Goff is going to, believe it or not, we are currently missing a Josh Reynolds type guy. We've already established that Donovan Peoples-Jones may not make this team. Somebody said you want Hutch. Xavier, see, I don't know much about him. I have no idea. One of these guys, a lot of these guys ain't going to be on this team. Look at their receiver core, though. I mean, even Quintez Cephas. Noah Brown, check. Nico Collins, check. Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs. That's scary right there. And you ain't even got to wide receiver number 5 yet. And we play these dudes. So our secondary really going to have to be next level to put clamps on these guys. We're going to have to get to the quarterback as well. That's going to be a fight right there, man. I'm excited about that game. That might be one of my most anticipated games of the year, and I'm hoping to be there. So we've already established the number of receivers they have. Now, if you compared the Texans to the Detroit Lions, I mean, really, who got the scarier wide receiver core? Who got the scariest wide receiver core? Now, Patrick says, I disagree. I think we'll be okay with what we have. Okay. All right. Even though he messed up, I wouldn't mind bringing Cephas again or Woods. None of what we have other than Cephas. You think Xavier Hutchinson starts. Okay. Well, if y'all think Hutchinson starts, where does that put John Mechie? Because you're talking about Xavier would be number 5. So John, you got John, Skoranek, and Woods all fighting for wide receiver number 6. So which one of these guys you taking? If John Mechie's cut, give me him in a second. In a second. Doughty's cut because he's on his 3rd year. Trade capital. He could be traded. Now, that's a question for you there. If the Detroit Lions, if the Houston Texans were to trade John Mechie, what would you do? What's the best offer you would give them? But then again, we traded for Donovan Peoples-Jones last year. So this is when it gets good. If a guy is cut, I'm taking Robert Woods. If the trade is good enough, I would entertain John Mechie. Because a healthy John Mechie, a healthy Jamison Williams, a healthy St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, David Montgomery, that is enough to get you giddy. You know what I'm saying? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Which one could you see possibly playing for the Detroit Lions?